But yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. Just gotta notify the court really quickly. All right, Torch. Sounds like it's just not the stream for you, so I'm gonna go ahead and get you on out of here. Skadoosh. Take care. We're not doing that tonight. Not doing it. Not doing it. If you just came to whine and complain and moan, it's not the stream for you. That's completely fine. What's up, Layer Cake? Good to see you. Good to see you. Does objective truth exist? It's like, are things objectively true? Is that what you mean? You prevented the gift terrorism? No, I just hadn't. Yeah. Prevented it. Yep. Yep. Why don't you believe? I just don't see any evidence of God being real, so I consider it the same as anything else that doesn't have evidence for it, which is just fiction, stuff like that. Yes. Oh yeah, I think there are things that are objectively true. Sure. Yeah. Why not? Yeah, absolutely. So there's an objective truth to things. What's up, Con James? Good to see you. How's your day going? Sorry, just getting started here. Sorry if I'm doing a lot, but we are just getting into it. Morals. Morals are a little bit more dicey. I think morals are ultimately subjective. Yeah, I think morals are subjective. You realize Christianity is faith-oriented and not based on facts. I do, but why should I have faith in one religion over the other ones? Right? Just, if you don't mind me, why did you convert? So I left my faith after a year and a half of deconstruction, and deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. Ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. If the whole world believed killing one group of people was good, then would it be true? I could say that I strongly disagree with that for sure. I would say that my subjective moral convictions tell me that that's not a great thing. I'd say the fact that most people do agree that that's an awful thing is awesome for society, where we're trying to ensure the survival of our offspring. But to say objectively true in the same way that 2 + 2 is true, I mean, we'd have to demonstrate that, right? It's not saying I find it permissible, just saying that it's up to us as the individual agents to figure out our moral convictions. You have a nice voice. I appreciate it. Average brown girl, thank you for the compliment. This guy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Why a Christian God? Why a Christian God? What do you mean? Why a Christian God? What do you mean by that? With the Dead Sea Scrolls and all the scientific proof Jesus was here, even atheists believe he exists. I mean, I don't have an issue with Jesus existing as a person, but there's no evidence whatsoever, not even a tiny bit, it's not even a lick of it that he rose from the dead. That's my issue, right? If I grant that Muhammad existed, I mean, sure, but that's no reason for me to be a Muslim then, right? Also, Kramer Schmidt, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. And the rose, thank you. Appreciate it. Also, the Dead Sea Scrolls are just an Old Testament manuscript, so they're not proof of a God. It's just proof that people used to be Jewish. Why does it have to be a Christian God you don't believe? Oh, that's what I used to believe in, right? What I'm saying, I was a Christian and now I'm no longer a Christian. But if a God is real, any God that you believe in is real, where's the evidence for it? You don't know shit. Thank you for your opinion. We have the nails that pin him to the cross and the surround of Jesus. If you mean shroud, then the shroud's been debunked a bunch of different times over, many different times over. But even beside that point, having the nails of somebody's crucifixion, firstly, not verified, right? Just claimed by the Catholic Church and the Vatican. But even beside that point, even if we did, all that would prove is that he got crucified. Does it prove he was the Son of God resurrected? I don't know. Answer correctly, which means objective morals exist. No. It's not how that works. The mass agreement on subjective moral convictions is not proof of objective morality. And even if it was, it wouldn't be proof of a God figure, especially a God figure that most people disagree with morally. A God figure that condones slavery probably isn't the reason that most people think slavery is awful. A God that commanded infanticide is probably not the reason that people think that such a thing is awful. What up? What's up, Mute? Good to see you. Yes, there is. The tomb is empty. Which tomb? There's 15 different tombs throughout the region. thought the Dead Sea Scrolls predicted Jesus. No, the entire Jewish faith was based off of a coming Messiah, which Christianity was written to be the fulfillment of. It's not a proof that Jesus in and of himself, if let's say like this particular guy with this blood type and this person that we can know for certain as the Messiah is coming, then that'd be a lot more convincing. But yeah, it's no meat to chew on there personally. You know how big the universe is? Yes, it's pretty outlandish. Pretty big. We haven't even scratched the top of the region, and that's what persists are what? I'm not sure. You're here, look around, there's proof. Right? Looked around, now what? What word unifies words? Shark, what are you talking about, man? What word are you talking about, dude? What's the answer? Give me the answer to the riddle. Creation is the evidence that's undeniable. No, this is existence. There's no reason to front load that this was intentionally created. Do I believe in string theory, even though there's zero evidence supporting it? String theory is a hypothesis. It's not a unified theory of the construction of our reality. In addition, atheism has no foundational basis whatsoever in any form of science. It's a foundational basis for what? Just the ability to do science? Or what do you mean? What's up, Mr. Gecko? How you doing? How many square miles is the universe then? This many. Read the Quran for truth. I've read the Quran. The Quran is not a book of a truth. It's a book of more claims. Do I know who the LDS are? Yeah, I've heard of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. I used to live across the street from one of their churches. So yeah, I can guarantee you I've heard of them for sure. Well, if you don't believe, then where do we come from? Our parents. Our parents, they had sex, and yeah, there we go. You're never a true Christian. You think I care about your opinion. Ain't that something? Hate to see it. Sorry, 1 second. Got to bookmark this real quick. There we go. Have some faith. There's your proof. No, I'm not going to have faith in one particular religion out of the many religions that tell me to just have blind faith in it. You saw me yesterday? You did see me yesterday. What's up, Beansy? Do you believe in atheism is to believe that a large lifeless universe suddenly and randomly gave birth? No. Atheists just don't believe in any gods. That's literally it. You know, it's not a claim on where did the universe come from. It's not a claim on anything else. But if you ask me personally where I believe the universe came from, I think the universe has always existed. I think that the stuff that makes up the universe has always been around. Is morality objective? I don't think so, personally. Thigh is Brooke. Thank you for the follow. Are you who I think you are? No, you're not who I think you are. Okay, my apologies. Yeah, welcome, man. Good to see you. What about Moses? There's no evidence of Moses existing. In fact, most scholars agree he didn't actually exist. You had some Jehovah's Witnesses come to your door. They were kind of fine shit. It almost worked on you. There was these couple missionaries, giggity, that I got to my door back when I used to live across the street from the LDS church, and they knocked like every couple weeks. It was really annoying, but I guess they tried to get the people closest to them before spreading out or whatever. But man, it was this one too old for me. She was like 22. I was like 15, 14 when I lived over there. But yeah, not happy, but. Yeah, fine shite indeed. Thank you for the follow. As an ex-Christian, ex-atheist, born-again Christian, only you can find the evidence in yourself. Oh, well, that's okay, I guess. What do you think happens after you die? I think you just cease to exist personally. I think it's just like over, just GG, just lights out, blackout, like before you were born, basically. It's never brought up with religion. All signs point to something. No, do they really though? Is it really a point of contention? Bro, still going? I'm not still going. I just started 8 minutes ago. Actually, I have to believe that nothing happened to nothing, and then from that nothing, it suddenly gave birth. I could just say the same about God. Since we want to pretend and we don't understand the idea of something eternally existing, I could just say the same about God. For you to believe God exists, you have to believe that God was. Let me quote you here. Happened from nothing, and then from that nothing suddenly started existing as that God, I guess, right? Jesse, thank you for the 2 shells and the 2 roses. Appreciate you. Do you think that your life has meaning? If it doesn't matter, why don't you just do whatever you want? I don't think there's an objective purpose to life. But I think it's up to us as individuals to do with our lives, as the agents in our lives, what we will with our lives, you know? So if that answers your question. Thank you for the 29 shells. I appreciate it, Jesse. Thank you. Also, Keith Gleason, thank you for the follow on TikTok. So murder is okay? No, it's not what I said. Thought you were still going? No, I haven't been streaming for 28 hours. I've ended, and then I went about my day, and then started the stream again. You actually can't, because the insistence of the internal being separate from the universe is not in any way talking about the... What? Let's see. The insistence of an internal being separate from the universe is not in any way talking about the universe. To give you an example, we know the universe did not always exist. Do we though? Before, if we're basing that off of that presupposition, do we really know the universe hasn't always existed? Because if you're talking about at the point of the Big Bang, that being the quote unquote start of the universe, in that it was a point of the universe coming from existence from not existing before, then that's not what the Big Bang claims. It was just a point of expansion of a really hot, really dense universe. That's literally all it was. Laws of logic, we can ground them axiomatically. Things are what they are, therefore the law of identity is true. Things aren't what they aren't, therefore the law of non-contradiction is true, and there's no middle ground between the isness of something and its not isness or its negation. That there's no middle ground between there. So the law of excluded middle is true. So these are self-evidently true, not needing some sort of woo-woo sort of absolute mind. What the fuck do y'all say? A mind of all minds or whatever to create it. Debate me? No thanks. I'd rather talk to the, let me see, 46 on TikTok, 41. So yeah, 87 people currently, not just relegating it to one person because they insist on it, so sorry. What caused the Big Bang? Nobody knows. Physics can't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I'm not a physicist, but obviously, right? The laws of physics as we know them break down at the physical extremes of the universe at the point of the Big Bang. But nobody knows. But if I had to take a guess, I'd say like the cyclical hypothesis is probably the correct one. It's 0, the Big Bang by a Catholic. What? Is that even a complete? Am I having a stroke, or is that not a complete sentence? Actually do, because the universe is expanding and we can witness it. That's just mean that the universe expanded, not that the universe started, if that makes any sense. It's literally all it is. It's like saying that a balloon blowing up means that it went from not existing to blowing up, instead of the balloon existing deflated and then getting inflated. A Catholic came up with the equation, and Georges Lemaitre tried his absolute hardest to separate theology from his physics. So I'm not seeing how the personal beliefs of somebody who came up with the equation, who did the work, is proof of the religion in and of itself. The God worship people are sad and pathetic. I wouldn't go that far, but it can be a little cumbersome for sure. All right, let's see what we got here. Can you agree that it's possible God started the Big Bang? It's a working hypothesis, I grant it for sure. All right, Jordan, I'm gonna get you on out of here real quick. Skadoosh, take care, have a good rest of your night. If I say no and tell you the reason I say no, you're just like, oh, let me just keep saying let me up, then it's probably not the stream for you. It's not for, no, we don't do that around here. You were an atheist until 2023. What happened then? Did you, I'm not gonna make the joke I want to make, but all I'll say is welcome, man. Good for you. No amount of evidence will convince you, because the beginning of knowledge is fearing the Lord. If that were the case, then the knowledge that I continue to take in wouldn't further and further get me away from the Lord, quote unquote. What's up, Chance Chop? Good to see you. Why'd you stop having faith? What happened? I just didn't see any evidence for it being real. I saw a good reason to believe that it wasn't real in conjunction with that. So that's why I stopped believing in it. And I was like, okay, wants me to have faith in it, to stay in it no matter what. And You know, that's what abusive people do. And does anyone know the laws of logic here? Are you talking about the traditional three? If so, I just gave them to you. Let's see here. You're dancing around the question. How do you get life from a dead, lifeless universe? I don't separate life, like the ability for organisms to self-replicate, as I don't consider that different from just a really advanced form of chemistry. And chemistry and even biologists would agree with you on that. So we can try to categorize life as something just grand and that's completely separate from the study that would otherwise apply to non-living tissue as well, but there's just no good reason to think so. User, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna go for it. 451-877-0832617. Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. And Lucas, thank you for the follow as well. Why did I become an atheist? Thank you for asking Rip Van Winkle, who I've never seen before. So I'm just kidding, I'm not going. What's up, Rip? Ask a question for you to ponder. If atheist Darwinist evolution is true, then by a way that is prescribed, then there should be life on other planets, including our near neighbors. No, there's nothing about Darwinian evolution that implies that life, the very delicate balance of what we can know to be life, at least as it applies on this planet, has to happen on other planets, especially other planets that are too hot or that rain glass or rain lava or have ammonia atmospheres or that are radiation wastelands. And so no, it's nothing about one that necessitates the other. Lost faith in God because you went through religious trauma. Sorry. And also because of other reasons. And don't let anybody tell you that's not a good enough reason. I'm glad to see you. Hope you're working through it well enough. What made you abandon Christianity? Just lack of evidence. I looked at the evidence. There was good evidence to show that it was false, and also a lack of evidence showing it was true. So that's why I left. Why are you doing this? Are you trying to make other Christians atheists, or just answering why? So I host these streams and make these videos to offer a look into an atheist and ex-Christian perspective, to encourage critical thinking, to learn new things, to provide an opportunity to engage fairly and honestly with someone with a different worldview, then have a little bit of fun along the way. Do you think that they will someday come with good evidence? No, I highly doubt it. Highly, highly, highly doubt it. There's no evidence to suggest that there is life on other planets, not one to actually whatsoever. Correct. There's currently no confirmation of life as we know it on other planets. We base it off of likelihoods, right? We can't see past atmospheres and things like that, but I'm not seeing how the lack of confirmation of life elsewhere means that the entire universe was created by a God that wanted the universe to be mostly lifeless. What made you become an atheist? When did I become an atheist? Sorry, 10 years ago, in 2015. In a few months, it'll be 10 years. I'll just round up and say 10 years. The actual mathematical, just going over the math of it. Again, unlikely for life as we know it to occur on the planet. I'll even grant it, why not, but I'm not seeing how that requires some creator of the entire universe that they want to be. Like for me, if I'm creating a universe and I want to create life, I'm not seeing a reason to create an entire universe that's mostly just dead planets, radiation wastelands, planets where silicate condenses in the atmosphere, it rains glass sideways, methane, like liquid methane cores. I'm not seeing a reason to make all this lifeless nonsense, You're an ex-Christian too. You're scared that you will get hate for it. Well, in case you're worried about getting hate for it, just know it's your information to tell. It's nobody's information but your own. So you got it. I know you got it. God made humans, who made God, and who made that being, and who made that being, and so on. Yeah, the buck has to stop somewhere. For me, the buck stops at the universe itself. You will know in Judgment Day. Aw, you're Filipino too, saying this, dude. SMH, dude. SMH. Ah, well, one bad apple doesn't spoil a bunch. But no, I don't believe in a Judgment Day, so I don't know what you want me to do with that. If you're an ex-Christian, you were never a Christian, saying some illogical, opinionated nonsense. Jesse, thank you for the 15 heart puffs. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. States that life can develop without a God, meaning that in a lifeless dead universe, life would have no requirements to develop anywhere as it's constantly adapting. Let's see, states that life can develop without a God, sure. Meaning that in a lifeless dead universe, life would have no requirement. Are you saying like the fact that we exist on just this one planet shows that? Are you trying to say that a God exists, or that Darwinian evolution is false, or like are we just misunderstanding how um the ability for life to adapt means that it has to adapt everywhere, or else a God is what created it because it's automatically false? Like, are we just misunderstanding science here? Or, I don't know. Do you believe in anything from pre-picture slash video? I'm guessing eras. No, not no. I'm saying no. That's not what I said. Absolutely, I believe that before the invention of the camera and the video camera, that things existed, but the lack of visible evidence for God isn't the only reason I don't believe in God. So was it always like that, or did man come up with the law of identity? Are you talking about like the law of identity is just a framework that we use to parse the world around us, right? If we're going to assign values or definitions to things within reality, then we then have to agree that the thing is indeed the thing. And then our framework for accepting that the thing is the law of identity, which is one of the laws of logic. The horror artist, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Atheist here. What's up? Welcome, man. You were wondering if there was really a God, why would there be multiple religions? Fantastic point for sure. I'm not seeing, especially a God that, like wants people to believe in it in order to be saved. Like that seems inefficient at best for sure. Very inefficient. We can conceptualize God in our minds. Maybe it's not so literal and more metaphysical. I do agree that God is a concept, but outside of a concept, I think that's about it. Have you heard of tag? Yeah. Tag just presupposes metaphysical idealism. It presupposes that the laws of logic themselves as a framework have to be grounded outside of itself. And then it just arbitrarily shoots it up to a God figure. So it's just post hoc rationalization, precept garbage. It's just like the moral argument. It's just the attempt to use one's own personal religion to take credit for a framework that we use to parse the world around us, whether it be our moral convictions or our acceptance of logic. God is specifically not a concept. I think he's just a concept. Whatever, it's just a concept. I have no reason to think anything different. So metaphysical concepts are essentially not real. Not tangibly, no. I say we agree on them, sure. Like they're just words that we assign to the way that we parse the world around us, sure, but as far as like tangible things, no, of course not. If my God exists, I won't lose anything unless I was bad, but you'll lose everything. If my God is real, which wants people to be atheist and wants people to not believe in other religions is real, then I'll be set and you'll be screwed. So who wins here? Laws of logic are prescriptive, not descriptive. It's rules of how we ought to think. Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, you hit the nail on the head. We all presuppose truth, and other presupposes itself, and like we accept the idea that things are what they are. Like, yeah, if so, like, and God is real, and atheists can stand before him and speak freely as ourselves. I'll do you one better. If a God is real and wants me to believe in him, he knows my email, he knows my phone number, he knows all my socials, he knows my address. Where you at? So many contradictions in the Bible too. Yeah, we're not even gonna start there though. Can you pray for me? Yeah, you can pray for me if you want to. It's fine. Kalfani Kwame Anu, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. What's your favorite verse? I don't have a favorite verse currently, but when I was a Christian, it was Titus 3:5 for sure. I think that did a lot better of a job than John 3:16 did. We're all talking about God. Doesn't that mean it's real? No. In the same way that talking about Superman doesn't make Superman real. Speaking about a fictional character or a concept that we accept in order to have the conversation doesn't mean that it's real in the reality that we share in some tangible way outside of our imagination, right? Ask God with an open and willing heart for him to show you he's real, and he will. I mean, I'm not going to call you a liar, but that is a lie. It's an untruth. The fact that I did it back when I was deconstructing and that I'm here right now as an atheist shows that to be a lie. Fadi, thank you for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. Well, it simply does the law of identity exist without man? Without somebody, without man or somebody who is an agent and has a mind to, what's the word I'm looking for, to define the world around us, then definitions end. But the material reality that we are defining doesn't end. So does the law of logic disappear? Laws of logic disappear if men stop existing? Yeah. But it doesn't mean like the universe itself, like the material universe, would just become some random, garbled, just deconstructed, just pile of whatever, right? Really sounds like you don't think your own truth is essentially a version of relativism. I think that I'm not seeing how it's relevant, right? I don't think that the ability, or not even the ability, but the necessity of accepting that things are what they are and accepting the logical framework in order to even have a discussion means that A, God is real, or B, that the laws of logic are necessary and necessarily prove a God to be real, you know? Apparently you didn't have eyes to see. You're very combative about it, though. Oh, so we're going back on what we said before. It's like, oh, ask with an open heart. And I'm like, yeah, I did ask with an open heart. Oh, well, you didn't have eyes to see. Like, it's always our fault for some odd reason. Like, it's so odd to me. I was mumbling. Was I really mumbling, or did you just not? Like, you can rewind if you want to. You're either self-defeating argument, or you concede that consciousness and tag are prerequisite to existence. No, I don't concede that the argument that God exists by way of us accepting a logical framework is true. We can try to sneak God into there as much as we want to. I know we're like on the ropes, like we're grasping at straws, we're trying our best, but it's just not how that works personally. You can't use logic without the laws of logic. Yeah, and right? Doesn't complex, complicated, specialized life form suggest an intelligent designer? I mean, depends. Are these complex, complicated, specialized life forms created in the most simple way possible? No. Are they created in the most efficient way possible? No. Right? If life and being able to replicate is the purpose behind a designer creating us, then we shouldn't have things like cancer or appendicitis or asthma or things like that that are nobody's fault, but that can cause us to stop living, or in and of itself, What made you become an atheist, and how come ex-Christian? So for me, I just looked at the evidence for God existing and found none of it convincing. That's all it was. Law of identity shows objective truth and right, like that things are objectively true, that things are true if we agree on the definitions of words, sure, but again, I'm not seeing how this is evidence for God. Like we can talk about we can talk about the nature of logic all we want to, we can try to substantiate metaphysical idealism all we want to, but again, if we're not trying to circle it back to a God is necessary for this thing, then I'm not seeing where you're getting at. You must be talking to somebody else, because I feel like I'm keep saying words, and you must be talking to somebody else. The Shroud of Jesus is proof. No, the Shroud of Turin has been debunked like I don't know how many times over. There's the carbon dating that debunks it. The herringbone pattern being inconsistent with the plain weave pattern you should have expected in the first century linen. Red ochre found in the pigment, which shows that it's not from blood, it's from iron oxide, which was used in pigments around the 13th century. There's the obvious fact that the Pope around the time said it was just, wasn't actually the burial cloth of Jesus. The proportions on it are wrong. It has Eurocentric features, which are more in line with like the Renaissance depictions of Jesus and not first century, like what he would be described as in Revelation 14. And also there's the wide angle X-ray scattering that they say, oh, this points to it being 2,000 years old, but it only would be accurate if it were kept at a consistent temperature. And the Shroud has been in 4 fires. So no, the Shroud of Turin is, it's a nice art piece. I'll give it that. Like if I had it like hanging up in my room or something, that'd be pretty cool, but it's not the actual burial cloth of Jesus. And more importantly, even if it was, it wouldn't prove that God is real or that Jesus rose from the dead. It would just prove that, he was, had a shroud wrapped around him, and from wherever it was discovered. Not red ochre. No, iron oxide is a specific type that's more consistent with paints at the time, and definitely not the natural types you'll find from like fire and blood. You know, God is powerless. Yeah, without humans, God can't do jack shit. Why do you think we exist? Outside of the obvious, like our parents having sex, like why do we as humans exist? Like what objective purpose do we serve? If that's what you mean. I don't think we have one. I think that we are, um, just something, just the universe experience in itself, basically. So, I think it's up to us as agents within what we know as agency to define purpose for our own lives. If that's what you were asking, I don't know if that was even your question. Shelly Belly, thank you for the heart, man. Just noticed, but appreciate you. Thank you so much. Also, Darth Dawkins, thanks for the follow. I'm not letting guests up though, because I got 123 on YouTube, 55 on TikTok, and I'll be honest, I want to talk to somebody who's not a precept crybaby. How many years were you Christian? I was Christian for 19 years, up until for as far back as I can remember, until the age of 19. Sentient apes who realize a ton of wild shit. Yeah, basically. Those who follow the right path fear the Lord. I think if that were the case, then Jeffrey Dahmer, wouldn't have, converted to Christianity, unless we want to argue eating people is the right path. Not that it's going to make anyone leave, but this is interaction bait. It's a discussion, right? We kind of need interactions in order to have a discussion, and I desire to have the discussion on my platform. So, interaction in that, let's talk about it, sure, but interaction in that, like, gas up my socials and shit, no, that's just you projecting. Could be. No, it's not. All right, I'm gonna get you on out of here then. Yeah, if we don't believe my intentions, that's fine. Just get the fuck out. Anyway, Linda, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Praying for a skeptic, even if you don't want me to. I am and I will. Thank you for showing me that you have a lack of consent, just like the Catholic priests that are raping kids. Appreciate you, I guess. What's up, Nicole? It's good to see you, and thank you for the follow. Do I believe the Bible is true history? I think it's historical fiction. I think it references real places and real people, but the story, especially the supernatural parts, are made up, for sure. Why'd you stop believing in God? Lack of evidence. Looked for the evidence. The evidence wasn't good. It was either baseless presupposition. It was either a logical fallacy. It was either outright hoaxes or lies, or, that's all. I looked into it. Didn't find God at the end of it, for sure. One day you will regret your choice. No, I won't. I promise you. Why did you need evidence for God after almost 20 years? Because in those 20 years prior to it, I hadn't read the Bible yet. So I had this conception of God that was completely perfect, valued fair things, right? Could only do good, and that did no wrong. And that wasn't the cause for us, needing God in the first place, or needing that gift of salvation. So after I read the Bible, like that started, crumbling down a little bit. Can I see your chats? I can see your chats. Yeah, I can see you. Totally not Elijah, but what you see on the screen is from the TikTok chat, and what TikTok chat sees on the screen is from the YouTube chat. So I'm just trying to keep up between the two instead of like icing somebody out. 20 years and didn't read the Bible. Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right about that. I know you're trying to like take a jab at me, but I'm right there with you. I find that unacceptable. I think if we're going to accept the religion, and it's probably better that we read the thing as sooner rather than later. So take that up with the other Christians in the chat who are older than me or older than I was when I deconstructed, and who haven't read the Bible. Take that up with them too. But I'm outright saying, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think we should go believing things in books that we haven't read. I think that would be absurd. God will save you, so don't be shocked when you don't get sent up to heaven. Will he save me, or will I not get sent up to heaven? Which is it? What are temptations if they're not from the devil? What are the temptations? Like lust, lying, things like that. I don't know, just human nature. What would make you think that a God is more? What would make you think that a God is more likely to not? an argument that shows that God is the only possible conclusion of all of its premises is, that's pretty solid. Some verifiable evidence of the supernatural claims of the Bible, or most probably best off is God coming down himself and be like, hey, here I am, now you got no excuse. Okay, that's fair, right? What's up, Magnolia? Good to see you. Most people take the Bible too literally. They are stories with hidden meanings. Even the part with Jesus dying and rising again, because am I not supposed to take that seriously, or am I supposed to accept that as literal though? Because if that's the case, then I don't know. The criticism is, I'm not seeing where we're coming from. Christianity is the answer that will fix America. Fuck no. Really quickly, Jordan, thank you for the rose, but you're not getting unmuted, dude. Yeah, we're not doing the performance whatever tonight. Only thing you can do is have faith. It's his choice to fall into the devil's grasp. Yeah, that's got to be really exhausting, dude. Thinking that there's like some invisible like type of devil that's trying to. He's like, it's the reason that it's the thing that makes you want to not believe in the thing. That's gotta be fucking exhausting. I would know it's exhausting because that's what I used to believe. Are you scared that God is real? Not even a little bit. I've done more than enough due diligence, and so if a God's that is real, is all knowing, and that would value such a thing, if it would know that I did such stringent research in trying to find them, so if that's not good enough for him, then it's not my fault at that point. Not all the answers to life is obvious and right in your face. I agree, but I'm not seeing how that's getting us to a God figure. I'm questioning my faith in religion. What made you become atheist? For me, it was looking at the evidence, right? It was reading the Bible, looking at the claims made, seeing that God was a lot different in the Bible within a narrative than I used to thought that he, think he was. Looking into apologetics, the apologetics not offering satisfactory answers, and then after that, looking at the evidence of the supernatural claims, obviously praying to God, looking at the historical evidence, archaeological evidence, logical arguments, all that good stuff, and found 0% of it convincing. How was the world made if there's no God? If you're talking about the Earth, there's protoplanetary disks, and gravity is what formed it. It's what forms most planets, as far as we know. If you're talking about the universe, past the point of the Big Bang, we can't know, right? The laws of physics of our universe break down at the point of the Big Bang, so past that, nobody knows. Ask me personally, I think the universe is in an eternal cycle of expansion and then contraction and expansion and contraction, expansion, contraction. But, it's impossible to say one way or the other. There's overwhelming archaeological evidence for the Bible. I mean, for people throughout it. I mean, I'll even go so far as to grant it, even that's, a lot less on the face, but definitely not for the supernatural claims. Is there anything you like from Christianity? There's nothing I like from Christianity that I can't find elsewhere. I'll say that much. I won't say I dislike everything about Christianity, but I'm saying like sense of community, peace, feeling like there's somebody that you can talk to in the event of like hardship. These are things I can find outside of it, but these are things I also found within Christianity when I was a Christian. What do you think happens after death? I think you just cease to exist personally. I think it's like before you were born, can't see shit because you just don't exist, right? You can't experience anything. There's no you anymore. I think that your mind and your ability to experience things is just a result of your brain working. So brain stops working, by extension, mind stops working. Also, what's up, Matthew? Good to see you. Sorry, didn't see you at first, but 123 on YouTube, 50 on TikTok. It's my bad. The fact that we don't know doesn't mean the answer is God. W take. What's your goal in this? So I host these streams and make these videos to offer a look into an atheist and ex-Christian perspective, to encourage critical thinking, to learn new things, to provide an opportunity to engage fairly and honestly with somebody of a different worldview, and have a bit of fun along the way. That's why I make these streams, for sure. Busy cooking, yeah. I'll make sure to add some salt. Explain dreaming. The brain trying to keep itself stimulated while it's, letting the body rest. Doing its best to maintain a conscious experience while the rest of it is unconscious. Why do atheists hate hope? I don't hate hope. I just find that hope outside of a god of a book that had talking animals and zombies in it. If you really an ex-Christian, you know it's about faith. Yeah, it's definitely was about faith. Faith was a really big portion of the Bible, right? But why am I expected to have faith in one particular religion that has no evidence for it over the other religions that have no evidence for them, but that want me to have faith in them, right? It's like, you know, like, Why do theists hate reality? Good question. Also, what's up, God equals? How you doing today? There's a scientific argument to be made for the existence of God. I can guarantee you I've probably heard it at the very least, and I mean the most absolutely unique arguments I've heard maybe about 100 times. So it's definitely somewhere between 100 and 1,000 times for sure. How do we have fossils far down in the earth, but if there wasn't a great flood from God? Continental drift will cause that. Sediment buildup. A lot of different things would cause fossils to be down inside of the earth instead of on its surface. The surface of the earth that isn't just like some solid glass dome obviously wouldn't just have things sliding around for eternity, right? Weston, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Would I rather fight a baby bear or a baby gorilla? Probably a baby gorilla, yeah. I don't know if baby bears have their claws yet, but yeah, I don't want to get scratched up. See here. It's your choice, your life. Hope one day you will encounter Jesus. None for me, thanks, but appreciate you being here. You're just being cringe and edgy if you say there's no evidence that supports Christianity. Other people who are like Muslim, Hindu, all these other religions who claim evidence of their gods and their religions being true would say the same about you, so. Who do I believe here? The one that has the best evidence. Which one of you have the best evidence? Judging by the fact that there's thousands of world religions and many, many denominations of each individual religion, probably not any of you. How do you explain sandals and carriage wheels and such things at the bottom of the Red Sea? A hoax by Ron Wyatt is how I explain that. Ron Wyatt was a fraudster. He was a hoaxman. He was a con artist. He was a liar. He was a piece of shit. You know, he was not a good guy. He was a very big fat liar for sure. So that's how I explain it. What does being an atheist mean to you? If you mean like definitionally, it's just somebody that doesn't believe in a god or gods. If you mean like, what do I derive from not believing? I just try my best to believe in things that I believe to be true. And right now I step back from conviction in any of the world's religions because I just don't see any evidence that they're true. You should try reading the other two books, Quran and Torah. Technically, the Torah is just the Old Testament, so I mean, I've read that twice, and I've also read the Quran once, so I've done my due diligence for sure. Have you ever read the Evidence Bible? The Evidence Bible? No, I'm not even sure what that is. Oh, he's quoting 1 John chapter 2, verse 19. This is my favorite thing. It's my absolute favorite thing. Because if we're going to try to use biblical precedent to say I wasn't a Christian, I'm just going to cook you real quick. 1 second. Give me a minute. 1 John 2, 18 through 19. And this is why it's extra unacceptable, because the literal verse before it puts it in context. But 1 John 2, 18, 19. Doesn't matter the translation. NIV is fine, whatever. This is 1 John chapter 2, verse 18, the verse literally before the one you quoted. Dear children, this is the last hour, and as you have heard that the Antichrist is coming, even now many Antichrists have come. This is how we know it is the last hour. Now, this is obviously John speaking present tense, right? Because he says, have come in the last hour. So he's speaking present tense, so like around the age of Jesus, right? And then 19 is what you just said. They went out from us, but they did not really belong to us, for if they had belonged to us, they would have remained with us, but their going showed that none of them belonged to us. So John is very clearly talking about people who believed in a false version of Christ at the time that he's given the address. He's not talking about people who believe in the whole Bible and then stop believing in the Bible. So not only are you dismissive and invalidating, but you haven't read your book. So, I mean, you're 0 for 3 at that point. Also, who subbed on YouTube? A second, give me a minute. Brandon, thank you for subscribing to YouTube. I appreciate it. Thank you. The rage bait is crazy. Good mute. Good mute, Matthew. Good mute. I'm so over people calling it rage bait at this point. Ari764, thank you for following on TikTok. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Can't find my Discord. If you're over 18, I mean, if you're under 18, don't try to find it. I ban anybody who's under 18, but if you're over 18, you can just do !Discord in chat if you want to, or ! socials altogether. What's up, Oofy? Good to see you. Ramadan equals serious mother of Dan. Ramadan, you know what? Sirius the Black Sun. Avada Kedavra. No, you're looking for earthly evidence for something that's not of this earth. I do agree that God's not of this earth. I don't think God's of this reality, period. Do you consider Christianity the same as all other religions? Evidentially speaking, yeah. I think they're just as untrue as the other ones. Only difference is that the other ones, for the most part, didn't go colonizing the whole planet, right? So now word of the shroud for 1300 years and suddenly it pops up, fools believe it's from Jesus. Yeah, I'll never get it. Or that a shroud that was, you know, laid over somebody who was bloody and beaten would give a perfect recreation of his face, and that it would be basically photographic and not like it was like spread out as it would be if it were actually, you know, put over a dead person and then laid flat. Like it's just absurd. Do I believe in the Big Bang? I acknowledge that the Big Bang happened because there's more than enough evidence supporting that it happened for sure. Are you an atheist? Yeah. You make sure I got the prompt right. Ex-Christian, now an atheist. Yeah. It's according to the screen. Yeah, I'm an atheist. 2D image from a 3D body. Yeah. Almost like a photograph or something. I don't know. It's kind of odd how that works, huh, Matthew? Anyway, Casper XP, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Dude, I'm not on Jerkmate or Craigslist, man. What the fuck are we doing? Been a respectful person, and I'm 13, which is allowed on Discord, so if I join, you'll ban me. Yes. For my particular Discord server, I only want adults in there. I don't think there's any conversation to be had with somebody under the age of 18. And even 18 is pushing it, but at the very least, I'd prefer if only legal adults were in my Discord server. Yes, that is correct. I would ban the absolute ever-loving shit out of you. But I mean, you're free to subscribe and talk in the chat if you want to, but no, you just don't be in my Discord. The Bible itself debunks the shroud. Jesus had head covering and strips covering his body, no shroud. What verse was that? I can't remember the verse, but I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's so laughing. Like even the Pope at the time, like the Pope who had every incentive to say like, oh, this is the burial cloth. He said it's wasn't the real burial cloth of Jesus. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing? I'm not on Tinder either, man. All right, EDE. I just contended you, and you're just gonna continue spamming it. So you know, matter of fact, no, cancel. No 24-hour timeout. You can't come back. No, high user on channel. Period. Point blank. Never coming back. Skadoosh. 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 You're 23. Are you allowed in Discord? Yeah, by all means. If you're 23, so long as you're 18 or older, by all means join. The water's fine. But if you're 17 or younger, don't join my Discord. It's just, you know, hang out and chat. It's fine, but just don't join my Discord. I don't want adults and kids intermingling in an area where I like to have religious discussion and talk about some heavy topics. I think that would be pretty irresponsible. Kitty Critic, thank you for the TikTok. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have you read Lee Strobel's book, The Case for Christ? I've seen the movie. I hadn't read the book, and it's just not convincing. If in his own life he found God and, you know, looked for evidence and found it, that's cool for him. Like, love that for him, but I'm not seeing what I'm supposed to take from it, you know? Douche. Can you join your 33? Yeah, if you're 18 or older, no matter who you are, 18 or older is all I care about. 18 or older. 17 or younger, don't join. 18 or older, join. 17 or younger, don't do it. 18 or older, do it. You know, 18 and a value age that is greater than 18, you're allowed in my Discord. 17 or a value of age that is less than 17, just don't join, right? What made you reject God? I stopped believing in God because I didn't see any evidence for God being real. That's why I left. Looked at the evidence. Evidence wasn't great, so I left. Scream7, thank you for the 2 roses. I appreciate it. If you don't believe in a soul, is that atheism, or can atheists still believe in a soul? I think technically you can still believe in a soul if you're an atheist. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, the idea of a soul is more so co-opted by religions, which obviously front-loaded God with them. So I can see why you're asking that. But yeah, atheism doesn't make any claims about whether or not you believe there's like an invisible essence of the body. I don't personally believe that, but yeah, I don't think that takes away from your ability to call yourself an atheist, right? L God, L God. Let's get an L for God in the chat. Angelic Shades, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. The soul is man-made. I agree. I think it's just a made-up concept. Why's your content more anti-Christian than anti-religion? Because the other religions aren't trying to establish nationalistic laws and expectations in the country I live in, right? They're not using, like, Islam and Hinduism and Zoroastrianism, Sikhism, all these other religions aren't trying to tell trans people and gay people that they're, not valid. So, that's why I'm pretty anti-Christian in my content. Yeah, I think that's and plus Christians are, the ones that, are the biggest exhibitors of bad behavior. And so they're going to be the ones that are obviously the butt of my jokes for sure. Sotomex, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Explain the image on the shroud rather than just say it's fake. How is it faked? Painted on, but as evidenced by the fact that there was red ochre and a gelatin medium found on it, which is consistent with red pigment during around the time of the 1300s. I feel like this guy wasn't actually a Christian. Unfortunately for you, your opinion doesn't mean jack shit. Indeed they do, Oofy, but I'll say this, Oofy, I have a lot of choice words to say about them too, but the difference between them and Christians is that, one of them is apparently protected enough that I can't criticize it on stream, so I try my best not to. But I see you, Oofy. I see exactly what you say, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. I've read the book that they believe in, the one that starts with the Q, and yeah, it's pretty fucked. It's pretty fucked. So I don't know. Let's see here. Notice how he's responded to all my other messages. But before I read the rest of your message here, there's 95 people on YouTube and 49 people on TikTok. That adds up to, wait, what does it add up to actually? 149, right? 149. Did I do that right? No, 144. Shit, my bad. So I'm trying to get to multiple people. So I'm not ignoring you because you have this H in the hole. Oh shit. 40 different languages. Oh goodness. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, mass syndication of a story in ancient Rome is apparently evidence. Yes, the ace in the hole. Let me throw away my atheism and say holly, holly, joy, joy, right? But I'm trying to talk to multiple people, so maybe cool it, right? Faith is one of the steps to get closer to God. I'm not seeing a reason to have faith in something that very clearly appears to be false. And I'm also choosing actively to not grant faith or grant benefit of the doubt to a religion that enslaved and, killed my ancestors. That's the beautiful thing about opinions. Even if we all disagree, it doesn't matter. Yeah, there you go, right? Have you heard of the egg theory? Yeah, I've heard of it. I think it's a good outlook for helping you exercise empathy, but I don't think it's true personally. Tractor Henning, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you. Should you go to church? You're spiritual. If you want to, don't let me try to tell you what you can, where you can spend your time or not. That's not family friendly, said the 2 magic words. I'm gonna go ahead and get him out of here because if we think that this is rage bait, I mean, it's just not the stream for you. That's completely fine, but you don't get to be here. Skadoosh! Skadoosh! Take care. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you. Kitty Critic, thank you for the heart me. Appreciate it. I'm not sure what people supposed to say for heart me's, but thank you nonetheless. Also, thank you for the finger heart. Appreciate it. By hella Zuzus with that. Wait, what the hell? Oh, 1:30 a.m. alarm. There we go. You call it Christianity a religion. It's not. No, Christianity is definitionally a religion. The only reason they try to say that it isn't is because they don't like feeling as if though their religion is just as special or just as unspecial as the other ones, and it also helps them avoid the negative connotations of the word religion in discussions like these. So they'll call it, oh no, it's not a religion. I just have a relationship with the one true God. Amen. Hallelujah. But definitionally, it's absolutely religion. Atheists have done more destruction than religious people. That's just objectively false. Member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints who believe that the Bible is correct only as far as it's translated correctly. Have you tried reading the Book of Mormon? I'm going to read the Book of Mormon next just for education's sake, but I can promise you I'm not going to be a Mormon by the end of it. I'm going to read it just to learn about the claims of Joseph Smith and, just to see where he's coming from, but not for other purposes of like further study to the religion being true, if that makes sense. Plus I'm not going to follow the religion of a racist pedophile. Never heard of someone saying it's not a religion. You haven't been in my chat long enough then. No, it's not Christ made in according to religion. It's man made, and Christ is not only a man. If by that logic, Islam's not a religion either, because the Quran was given by the angel Gabriel to the Prophet Muhammad. But that's objectively false. So, hate to do it. Hate to burst your bubble. Hate to not dance around this umbrella with you, but it's definitionally a religion. Materialism equals science equals no cure still for any disease whatsoever, right? Like any disease, like science has cured many diseases. If you mean like all diseases, I mean, yeah, we're working on it. I say I'm not a scientist. They're working on it. And even still, I'm not seeing how the current inability of the current lack of a cure for certain diseases and a lack of advancement in the field of medicine past the point we are now shows that materialism is incorrect. I think that's a complete non sequitur. Ah, shit. Damn it, Rip. I'm screwed. Damn it. How do I find your Discord? Before you find my Discord, before I tell you how to, are you over the age of 18? What's your name? Matistic? I don't know, but are you over 18? Need to know your opinion. So how do you explain the creation of the universe? Something cannot be created out of nothing. There needs to be something outside space and time. Wow, how many apologetics, like Cliff Necto points, can we fit into one comment? I think personally the universe itself has always existed. Sorry for the truth. I'm gonna block you real quick. 1 second. Yeah, we're just gonna get you on out of here. Just saying, oh, it's true. Materialism equals shit. Yeah, whatever. Just get out my life. But anyway, beside the point, I think the universe has always existed in some form. Like the stuff that makes up the universe has always existed. I think it's never went from not existing to existing. So I don't think it came from nothing, quote unquote. In the same way that you don't believe that God came from nothing, you believe that God has always existed, which is, I mean, that's explanatorily speaking, that's fine, sure, right? But I just assign that property to the universe itself without a God, so I don't know. And also outside of space and time makes no sense whatsoever. For something to be outside of time, it has to, I'll say it like this, if time only started existing at the point that the universe, quote unquote, started existing, then what existed before it existed for no time whatsoever, because time didn't exist yet. So if that's the argument you want to go with, I agree, because I agree that God's existed for no time, and that's in line with not believing it exists. But yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. Same with space. In order for something to exist materialistically or exist at all, it has to take up space, unless it's a concept. If that's what you want to say, that God's just a concept, then I'll say I agree with that too, right? If there's no God, and how come you have a life? My parents had sex. That's how I have a life. About 30 years ago, my mother and my father, they bumped uglies. They did the deed. Same way most of you, I would imagine. There's probably some test tube babies in here somewhere, but same way most of you exist without needing a God to be directly necessary. You'll never know if Christianity or Muslim are the true religion. I can say with certainty that both of them make claims that go against the laws of our reality. If God isn't real, why is what? I free? I free? What do you mean? What? You mind rewriting that, Steve? Steve? I don't know. Have a good rest of your night, Iris. Appreciate you being here. Good to see you again. Truly hope you well in life, and I hope you can regain your faith in God. None for me, thanks, but have a great rest of your night. Who were the first parents? If you mean like first parents of humans, speciation with Homo sapien happened from Homo erectus, like the previous ancestor. If you want to say who was the first life form that we evolved from, period, that would be the last universal common ancestor. How did that form? Via abiogenesis over the course of millions and millions of years. The conditions of the planet allowed for the formation of things like RNA, lipid layers, cell membranes, things like that, which would allow for an organism to have the ability to self-replicate. There's not really a way to disprove God as of now, though. I would say for God in general, I agree with you. Like, something that doesn't have to operate by the laws of our reality could exist, sure, but I can say with certainty that it's not the God of the Bible or Torah or Quran or anything like that. Any gods that have been posited so far that make claims that violate the laws of the reality we live in, right? Luca the goat. Let's get a shout out to Luca, man. Luca wanted to form over millions of years, and now here I am paying taxes a few million years later. Million? Billion? I don't know. You're 20. May you please join the Discord? Yeah, you can join the Discord if you're 20. 20 is fine. Yeah, there you go. Why ex-Christian? For me, I looked at evidence of God being real and found none of it convincing. That's why I left. Which hue is real? The one your parents / boss / spouse / you think of yourself. They can't all be real. These are conceptions of me by the people I interact with, sure, but I wouldn't say these are like different tangible people. Obviously not, right? I'd say the one that's materialistically right here, speaking into a microphone, that's being picked up by a mixer, that's being converted into sound through my computer, that's connected to the internet. That internet is connected to, that's sending the signal to a platform like YouTube or TikTok that you're hearing on your end. I'd say this is the real hue, but no, I'm not arguing that somebody's conception of me is tangible in any way. Oops, somebody got rolled into a pack. Hate to see it. Damn. Streamlabs outed you, man. All right, Biskrum, appreciate you being here. I'm going to put you in the wood, though. Skadoosh. Are you agnostic? Oh, yeah, I'm agnostic. I think it's, I think for anything that has a decent amount of explanatory power to it and doesn't have any sort of vital errors with its hypothesis, it's not safe to believe necessarily, but it's on the table at least. So I think the honest conclusion from that would be to say you're agnostic, but personally, I just don't believe that to be the hypothesis of God to be correct. That's why I'm an atheist, right? What's up, seeingkids.com? Good to see you again. How's your day going? What are you expecting from these discussions? I host these streams and make these videos to offer a look into an atheist and ex-Christian perspective, to encourage critical thinking, to learn new things, to provide an opportunity to engage fairly and honestly with someone of a different worldview, and have a little bit of fun along the way. That's why I make these streams. Gloria, don't spam. It's my one rule. If God isn't real in your life, it's a mistake. Your birth, your family, everything you've known is a mistake and an anomaly and shouldn't be existing. No. Mistake isn't the right word there. Mistake, accident, those imply that it should have been one way, but it's this way. But I have no reason to think that it shouldn't have been this way, that I shouldn't have existed, that the universe as it expanded and as it formed shouldn't have allowed for it to form in the way that it has so far. So no, not a mistake. I don't know what to tell you. And even if you were to think such a thing, believing in the colonizer's guide to the galaxy probably isn't the best way to go about that. What did I think about the tribulation when I was a Christian? Yeah, I was, we were pretty fire and brimstone for sure. Pretty rapture's coming, save yourself type of Baptist denomination. That's what I was in. So, thought it was coming, pretty scared of it. I was like, happen any moment. I was one of those people, and come to find out after reading the Bible that it's not even biblical. So, 0 for 2 for people that believe in the tribulation. Followers of Christ says the dumbest things to defend their imaginary friend. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting. Interesting one. What's up, Ashley? Good to see you. It's been a while. How's your day going? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your wife? How's your stuff? Big Bang is fake. No. The Big Bang is proven beyond a shadow of a doubt with cosmic background microwave radiation and redshift. That's what proves the Big Bang to be something that has happened and is technically still happening. So no. But by all means, if you want to say it's fake, if you have a working theory for it, don't chirp to my TikTok chat. Go get your Nobel Prize, right? Every knee will bow, tongue will confess, yawn. What evidence are you looking for? I don't know. If somebody believes in it, I'd imagine they have good evidence for it, right? So it's whatever evidence is causing people to be convinced of their beliefs. You pray for all of me? Sure, go for it. You're good. How are you? I'm good. Thanks for asking, Ashley. Younger Christian Hugh thought he was the real Hugh. Younger Christian Hugh was right about it for sure. Hugh in general, the younger Christian version of me, the older atheist version of me, both are the real Hugh. They're just Hughs that believe different things religiously. God wants us on our knees. Oh yeah, it might be time to get on my knees real quick. No, I'm just kidding. JDEI Gamers 2.0, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Thank you. Do I like jazz? I kind of like jazz, yeah. It's not my favorite genre, but I don't hate it at all. Just don't often listen to it. I like Frank Zappa, like Miles Davis. Charles Mingus he was ahead of his time for sure. Anybody ever listen to what was it called? The Black Saint and the Sinner Lady? Charles Mingus, I think it was like the late 60s that it came out, or like the early 60s maybe, like maybe 1960, somewhere in there. Really, really good jazz album. It's in 4 movements. I think it's in 4 movements. It's at least 3. Yeah, really good jazz album. What's up? Willow is on. Good to see you. Scientific facts of the Quran can be enough, but he needs to look into that fact. Oh, absolutely not. I've read the Quran. Makes a bunch of other nonsense claims, so that's why I don't believe in the Quran. It makes claims like it gives contradictory accounts for what we were created from, like a clinging clot, sperm, water, dust, earth. I mean, that's dust and earth kind of go hand in hand, right? But burnt clay, sticky clay, and nothing. So claims that an ant talked to Solomon. It also claims that sperm comes from between the backbone and the ribs. So no, the Quran is just as scientifically false as any other holy book that makes bad scientific claims. All right, let me get you out of here. Skadoosh. Calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. Come back next stream, Alex. Calm the fuck down. Vacuum, you can go too. I appreciate you being here, but yeah, skadoosh, man. Skadoosh. You have no mods in here? No, I don't have any mods in here, but I don't need any personally. All I really care about is spam, and I catch it well enough for me to not need mods right now. I'll probably start getting them after, I don't know, after a while though. Skadoosh. Have a good night. Take care. Bye. I mean, God, man, let me roll that dude in a pack real quick. 1 second. Roll this motherfucker up real quick. I'm not going to take another hit right now, but that's the good stuff. What evidence do you have for abiogenesis? The Miller-Urey experiment shows that the necessary preconditions, the preconditions of the the Earth, the conditions of the Earth around the time that the first, I think it was lipids, or was it RNA? I don't know. It was some very crucial component of, of cells or genetic information, but that can form naturally. And also the recent protocell experiments from August last year show that with silicone introduction that these things are possible to form. So that's definitely more viable than a book with talking animals for sure. Rob Daniels, thank you for following on TikTok. Appreciate it. Hugh is Hugh, sometimes Hugh is not Hugh. I never said sometimes Hugh is not Hugh. These are definitely words. All right, so now we're harassing me. All right, so let's do a report really quickly. 1 second. Skadoosh. Wait 1 second. Report, skadoosh, and then we start hiding on channel. There we go. Take care. Have a good one. See you later. Never come back. Anyway, why are we talking about Michael being majestic? Enlighten how you left the faith. I just look for evidence of God being real, and then the evidence sucked, so that's why I left. You're not yourself sometimes, like when you're hungry. That's still me, just a me that's more hungry and moody than the version of me that has recently eaten food. But all still Hugh. All still me. Just wanted to stop by and say that I was fervently religious, but due to recent events in my history, I stopped believing. TBH, if there is a God, he's malicious and often hateful. And don't let anybody take that from you. That's a more than good enough reason to not believe in religion. It's your life. Sorry for whatever happened in your life that caused you to, I'm sorry for whatever unfortunate thing has happened to you. I can say that much for sure, but don't let anybody take that from you. Welcome in. I'm glad you are where you are for sure. How do you explain the void before the Big Bang? Nobody knows that there was a void before the Big Bang. All we can say is that the universe used to be hot and dense, and that it expanded into a universe that looks more closely to the universe we have right now. Oh yeah, I do need to set that up. I made a video. It's on YouTube, but I gotta probably do like an FAQ. I'll probably do that right now, actually, because things are a little bit, it's a little bit. Okay, let me open up YouTube on my other tab really quickly. Let's pause that. Let's do. Damn it, where's the video? It's in my. Okay, there it is. Do that. And do that. And then. Yeah, that was a very good suggestion. I can do that literally right now. Also, really quickly, the 18th Angel, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Welcome in. The proof we have is everything. Everything? Just everything that exists is caused by a God for, I'm not seeing, like, what? Like, everything? Okay, now what? At least finish your sentences, right? But if you're going to finish your sentences of saying, like, everything that exists, like, necessitates a God, then show how that's not a non sequitur, right? Which one would it be? I'm too elevated for this shit. That would be Cloudbot. There we go. Cloudbot commands. Add command. Oh wait, no, cancel. Oh wait, close. Sorry, doing something. Sorry for apologize if I'm ignoring anybody right now. Let's do why. If you want to know why I left Christianity, here is a video explaining my story. And then do this. Do this. Do this. Are we fucking joking? Hello? Okay, there we go. Never mind. Let's do that. Let's take off the www. We don't need that. And confirm. All right, there we go. So exclamation point why, if you want to know, like, see the video for the story of why I left Christianity. I got to do one for the FAQ too. I'll probably do that right now too, because I already got it open. Religious or not, hope y'all having a good night. Well, appreciate that, Duster. Thank you. Yeah, all right. So you just keep harassing me. Skadoosh. Bye-bye. Take care. Learn how to use toilet paper before you come in here harassing me. If you're going to spam, use the right your bro. I don't know why people expect me to, take advice or take them seriously about things like philosophy, theology, physics, biology, but they can't even use the right your. Just in case we need a lesson really quickly. There's YOUR and there's YOU apostrophe RE. YOUR should be used in your ass is dumb, right? Use that one. YOU apostrophe RE should be used in you're a dumbass. So just making sure these are the correct yours, right? Do I believe in a higher power? I don't believe in a higher power personally. I just think that I think the universe is the way it is. I think it's went from existing to existing. I don't think it ever not existed. So I don't think there's necessarily anything outside of the universe that required it to exist, if that makes any sense. Sorry, really quickly. Close, add command. I'm sorry, I'm adding another command. I might as well. Just if I don't do it now, I forget to do it later. And then let's do this. I gotta re-record these videos too, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. Accept your live request, respectful talk. No, I'm not bringing up guests. I don't know if I'll ever bring up guests again, honestly, but I got 104 people watching on YouTube, 36 on TikTok. I don't want to just relegate it to one person. It's bad for viewership and bad for a back and forth discussion, right? Want to efficiency max it, you know. You want to know an answer to a frequently asked question. Check out this video and then confirm. All right, you could do. Are we fucking? Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, I already have it. Okay. All right, we're good. We're good. All right. All right, we're back. Sorry for the distraction. You can become something you are not or no longer become who you once were. I disagree with that. I think I'm kind of stuck being me no matter what. I'm just a me that has different attributes. Okay, we're back. What are your thoughts on miracles that have been scientifically studied / proven to have no clear explanation to its occurrence? You have an example? Do you believe in free will, like the belief that fate doesn't control you? For example, if you didn't, fate what's a destined path you could stray from? Not really. I'm kind of compatibilistic about it. I do acknowledge agency, or at least the illusion of agency, but I feel like all of our decisions, no matter which one we make, is going to be determined by a prior cause. Like, for example, right, let's say I had to take a massive grinding of a dump right now, right? I could do one of like three things. I could either hold it until the end of the stream, I could interrupt the stream, say I'll be right back and go take it, or I can just shit myself right now. The one that I choose is going to be dependent upon things like, do I feel like cleaning up my bed? Do I feel like interrupting the live stream? Am I in pain right now? Things like that, right? On an intellectual level, I think the fact that our universe can almost entirely be explained by nice, tidy algebra equations is a pretty solid hint at creation. I think that math is what's the word? Prescriptive, not descriptive, not prescriptive. I think math is a tool that we use to parse the world around us, not that the world around us fits into the rules of math or the like numerical values. I feel like we kind of got it backwards. Same with logic, right? Like, logic describes the world around, descriptive, not prescriptive. It describes the world around us. It's not something that our universe is trying to, it's not something that is, our universe is being pushed through, if that makes any sense. Do you think everything comes from nothing and returns to nothing? No, I think everything, exists and has always existed and probably will always exist. We found math, didn't discover. Found and discover are the same thing. You want to like rephrase that? You ain't cool if you shitting yourself. Yeah, that's true too. So it's also dependent on how cool I want to be or not. Right. Anyway, prescriptive, descriptive. I feel like I keep getting them backwards. It's the same reason with like composition and division fallacy. I got that down to a T now, right? I know the difference between those, but it's one of those things I just can't help but keep forgetting. I don't know, but it's a framework that we use to make sense of the world around us. It's not a rule or an attribute of the world around us, if that makes sense. Lala, what do you want? What's up, man? What made you change your mind? I got a neat little command now that will answer your question. What's your opinion on flat Earth? The Earth is verifiably not flat. It's an oblate spheroid. Achu, your name is a sneeze. This motherfucker's name is a sneeze, and he's talking about rage bait. Your mother was rage baiting with that goddamn name. Hello. Sorry for spamming, but you need to listen. Bye, Gloria. Don't say sorry for spamming. I'm going to spam really quickly. Get the fuck out of my stream. No, hell no. Sorry for spamming in all caps, but bye. Ooh. Bye. Take care. Have a good one. No. We don't sit here and listen to me saying don't spam and then say, oh, let me spam even harder and put all caps. Get the fuck out forever. Get the fuck out of my life. Fuck out of here. Fuck you think this is? Don't ever question my authority. Stop. God is real. Prove it. Do you know that Jesus Christ was a real person that existed? I grant it. I mean, I disagree. But beside the point, I do grant it for the sake of conversation, just to show that even if he did exist, that's not proof that God exists necessarily. The existence of a person that was written about and had stuff made up about him within the story doesn't prove that the story is true. Same way that somebody writing a story about me being able to, I don't know, fart pepperoni doesn't mean that I can fart pepperoni. Just speaks about Christianity a lot because he has personal experience. Yeah, I got personal experience with it. It's the world's most popular religion, so obviously it's the one that's, most, by default, mathematically speaking, it's the one that's going to be most subject to critique. It's also the one that people so happen to keep trying to send death threats to me for. So yeah, it's going to be the one I talk about. Do I get offended easily? Not. I like to think I don't, but do I really get offended easily? I feel like no. I feel like no. I feel like I try my best to be fair about the level of offense I take, right? Like if I mute somebody or block somebody in here, odds are it's because they were spamming or being intellectually dishonest, right? And I think those are very fair standards. Earlier somebody said that I tried to make fun of the fact that I didn't read the Bible like for the 20 years or so I was a Christian until obviously about the end of my Christian journey. And I agree with them. I was like, yeah, that's fair. That's a fair criticism, right? I think it would have behooved me to have read it a lot sooner. So I try my best. I'll say that much. Do I beat it to furry baddies? Absolutely not. Nice stream. Oh, nice stream background. Oh, thank you. Well, don't thank me. Thank the person on Giphy who shot this. No, you don't, host. Oh, I appreciate it. I try my best. Like I say, I try to keep myself in check. The Holocaust was real, and my people suffered, and 11 million got killed. Yeah. Yeah. This is true. We got a Holocaust denier, so I can block him. Did I fear God when I was a Christian? Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, of course I did. What the hell? It's detected that the live chat didn't appear on your screen in the past 2 minutes. Try using a mobile device to view comments from your dude. No, come on, man. I can see the chat. What the fuck? Hello. Goddamn. Why is Live Studio always doing some dumb shit, man? What's your opinion on flat Earth? I already gave my opinion on flat Earth. It's verifiably untrue. It's if you don't know any better and you believe in a flat Earth, I mean, I would encourage you to educate yourself, right? But if you believe in a flat Earth and you're an adult and you have access to education or access to information, that's just wholly unacceptable, right? Is your interest in furries pulling you away from the Lord? Probably, honestly. Einstein stated that he believed in the pantheistic God of Baruch Spinoza. He did not believe in a God who concerns himself with fate and actions of human beings, a view which he described as naive. Yeah, Einstein did not, people try to say he was a Christian. He definitely wasn't a Christian. Are you an actual atheist or more agnostic? I'm an agnostic atheist. Oh, shit, sorry. I read something that made me laugh. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. No, I'm an agnostic atheist. I don't know if a God exists, but I don't believe in one. Oh, goodness. Sorry. So I saw something really, really fucking funny. Choked me up for a second. Took him 1 year and a couple months and he became Christian. Einstein was never a Christian, my man. That is a common myth, but it took him 690 days and 420 days to become a Southern Baptist. We can say that all we want to, but it's just not true. Was that on Discord? No, I'm not looking at Discord right now. What would I do if Jesus comes back tomorrow? I just know he's real at that point. God's not an alien. I don't think God's anything personally. Bro just hit the cart. No, I don't do that. Sorry, that cart shit. I do yeah, I don't do that shit. I like flour a lot more. Once a Christian, always a Christian. Take it up with the people that say I was never a Christian. Einstein's Jewish. Where do people get Christian from? He was what's the word I'm looking for? He was like ethnically Jewish, yeah. But yeah, I don't know why people say he was a Christian. Opinion on furry baddies. I'm not into furries. Furries aren't my forte. You're going to regret not believing in God when he comes back. Doesn't the Bible have a completely different story of evolution, which is basically already disproven by science? Yeah, the story in Genesis of God just plopping the animals down and then telling Adam to name them it's absurd. It's been disproven 50 times a Sunday. The Bible's too complex for it to be man-made. Do you think complex stories mean they're like not man-made? Is that what you're talking about? Respect all my opinions. Appreciate that, John Allen. Thank you. Could I play some background music? No, I'd get my I say demonetized, but the algorithm doesn't like when I play music, at least on YouTube. Lithe Duchess? I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna get you on out of here. You said the magic words. Skadoosh. Get put into a pack, man. Get packed up. Get packed. How did matter come into existence? To begin with, nothing created something. No, I think something has always existed. I just think the something is the universe itself. Read the Bible, that's evidence. The Bible's the claim. The Bible's not evidence. Just like me saying like, oh, Superman is real. Read Superman, read Action Comics #1 and you'll believe in Superman. Right? Like, makes no sense. It's the claim. It's not the warrant for the claim. Opinions on submit. I'm not answering any more answers like anything else about furries, dude. Like, no, it's not happening. What's my opinion on big booty baddies? Very super outlandishly positive opinion about him. He's real because I was told to believe he's real, so that means he's real. Yep. 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 Can we roll Brando Ratchet into a pack? What's Brando doing? Oh yeah, I rolled them up before we even said it. I saw that in and I was like, oh, one of those people. Isn't even complicated. People did thing. God killed them for it. Then God sent the guy to save them. The end. A couple more steps than that, but sure, why not? From everlasting to everlasting, Hugh is Hugh. I don't think Hugh existed before April 27th, 1996. Or you can maybe argue like the 9 months or so before then, but you can maybe even argue like the maybe couple weeks or however long before then. But prior to that, no, definitely not. You got more trust in your friends than any type of God. W take. Yeah, we should probably trust the people around us a lot more than a God figure for sure. What type of Christian did you used to be? I was a Baptist until I was 19 and then apostolic until I was 18. No, I was Baptist until I was 16, apostolic until I was 18. I was a Christian altogether until I was 19. Opinion on 100 men versus 1 gorilla. I got the 100 men on that one. Happy late birthday. I appreciate it. Thank you. Did I say it's 27th? Did I say 27th or 24th? I was born on the 24th. I don't know why I keep saying 27th. I don't know. There was a time when Hugh was not Hugh. There was a time where Hugh didn't exist. You know? Opinions on Eucharistic miracles that have scientific studies showing some cases of bread that change into heart tissue on a molecular level. I'm going to need to see the studies for it, but even if that's beside the point, that's kind of disgusting, right? That, you know, God, like, y'all worship the flesh God, like the blood God, like blood for the blood God. Is that what we're doing? That, it's considered a miracle that bread turns into flesh. Are we fucking joking? Like, can we take a step out? Detected inactivity. Wait 1 second. Puzzle piece. Skadoosh. There we go. But just to make sure we're on the same page, like that's the God we believe in. Anyway. Can I stop doing yapping? No. Do I like chicken? Chicken's my favorite protein. What's your opinion on dating a guy? Not for me personally. I'm not into men, but if you're a guy that's into guys, or a woman that's into guys, or something between the two that's into guys, I mean, that's good for you. Love it. Yeah, the blood ritual. Can't forget the eat my flesh and drink my blood. Like, what the fuck are we doing? It's called the Eucharist. I mean, calling it a different thing isn't going to change what it's symbolic of, right? Like, huh? Like what? Like, eat the flesh, or something representative of the flesh. Drink the blood, or something representative of the blood. Are we not calling this a blood god that wants this shit to, are we on the same page here? You have the best voice to fall asleep to. I appreciate that, Ricky. Thank you. It's the depression. How was a human born? So when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, daddy gets hard. Daddy gets real hard. And mommy gets wet, right? Okay, never mind. I'm not doing this. Usually not into guys, but lately there's been some feminine enough. If you know, you know. Hey, whatever you into, it's this, hell yeah, W, right? I'm not answering any questions. Like, what hot submissive femboys do? What the, like, huh? Like, can we keep things on track here? Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? You smell a homophobe? Definitely not from me. No, I don't care what you say. You can ban me. Being gay is the worst crap. Then I will ban you for it. No, we don't do that. Oh, you're talking about the person above you? Yeah, we don't do that here, dude. We don't try to disparage people because they have sex with other consenting adults. Yeah, you can get the fuck out of here with that. Skadoosh! Never, ever, ever coming back. Get the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of my life. No, we do not do it. It ain't happening. It won't be me. It won't be me. No. I'm sorry. You know? I care. Oh, I hope I don't get banned for this, but I care so much about where another consenting adult's dick goes into another consenting adult. Like, oh shit, I guess. Okay. All right, man. How does conception work without God's intervention? Is God like, what do you mean? Like, this God, is he in there just like jerking a dude off or something? Like, what do you mean without God's intervention? Like biologically, is how it happens. What makes Hugh? Me being Hugh. What made you change your beliefs and stuff? Lack of evidence is what made me change my beliefs. Quit yapping? Okay. Hope you have an amazing night and rest of life, and love you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks. Uncharted Skeptic. Thank you for being supportive to everyone. Aww. Shucks. Aww. But yeah, no, I'm not supportive of everyone. Let's start there. I appreciate. Firstly, thank you, but no, I'm not supportive of everyone. I think that rape apologists should probably die off. Yeah, I don't think that's a hot take. I think rapists should die off, right? I think pedophiles should die. Yeah, it's not everybody. Not everybody's worthy of support. I think racists should die. I think the world will be better off without them. I don't think this is a hot take. Jesus Christ is your king and always will be. That's good for you. Imagine giving a homie a hand and God comes down and just to put your hand away, right? Like he just comes down, puts the dude's package back into their boxers. It just takes your hand and moves it back to your lap or whatever. Just like, no. And that's it for you. Deconstruction over time, that's why my views changed. Yeah, same. For me, it was about a year and a half of deconstruction. Also, what's up, Texas Blue Neck? I like the, like the profile picture. Like the, is that like something TikTok's doing? I've been seeing a lot of people with those or something similar. So like a TikTok avatar sort of dealio. I don't know. He's doing this for views. You kind of have to get views in order to have a conversation, right? Like no shit, right? Yeah. If I want to discuss religion, I have to discuss it with another party and not just myself, right? It's like, imagine if you had a conversation with somebody and I just walked up to you like, you just want attention. Like, duh, like, huh? Duh. Hello? Yeah. You kind of need the attention of the other party to have a discussion. Yeah, like, huh? Like, what? Like, huh? Are we fucking, like, blow my brain? I don't know. Kazuki, thank you for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. Can someone get FBI Enderman out of here? He's all right. It's just saying, I don't get people out for just saying stupid shit, unless that stupid shit is, disparaging people who don't deserve it. Have a good rest of your night, Justin. You are most welcome. You say God is real because you're Muslim. Well, that's good for you. Read it and you will have your answer. You say you've read it, but you don't seem like it. The only reason you're saying it doesn't seem like I quote unquote read the Bible is because we disagree, right? I would imagine if anybody else in your life who is a Christian, whether or not they've read the Bible, you have no issue saying, okay, yeah, believing them on faith if they claim they've read the Bible. But for some odd reason, somebody reading it and come into a different conclusion means I didn't read it. Like, at that point, just fuck off. If you knew how to talk to God, then he would show you. It seems kind of odd that an all-knowing being, all-powerful too, meaning he hears you, knows what you want, can give it to you, can come down, can show himself. There's got to be such ritualistic nonsense to reach him. That seems kind of absurd to me. I don't even have to go through that to get to my boss. I know my boss's email and phone number. I can call my boss right now. Probably shouldn't. It's 2:12 in the morning. We're in the same time zone, but but all powerful, all knowing creator of the entire fucking universe. Gotta wait 15 business days and do a shimmy around a sombrero and throw a jar of garlic at the wall and do a bunch of nonsensical shit. Like, no, dude. Like, come on, man. Read the Bible many times. Definitely an atheist, though. Reading the Bible is what made me an atheist, funny enough. Jerk. Dude, I don't have Grinder, man. I don't have Jerkmate either. All right. No, come on, give me a chicken jockey. Can you pray for me, please? I could really use the support. Take that up with the Christians in the chat. I don't pray anymore. What denomination were you as a Christian? I was Baptist until I was 16, and then Apostolic until I was 18, and then left the church after that. Didn't leave Christianity. That took like another year and some change, but yeah, Baptist and then Apostolic. But like the Protestant apostolics, not the those weird Orthodox people. There's no way this perfectly beautiful world is made at random. Are we talking about the perfectly beautiful world that has earthquakes and tsunamis that kill and have killed many people? Like, that's that beauty, right? Like, I'm not trying to be edgy here, right? There's a lot of beautiful things about the planet. I'm agreeing with you on that, but to just say, oh, all the beauty points to this God, but let's just ignore all the ugly shit too. I mean, that's just not very honest, right? Opinion on Sans from Undertale, you need to know. You know who I want to see? Like, there's a series. Yeah, series is the right word. Series called Death Battle on YouTube. I don't know if y'all saw it. It's really nerdy, but it puts like two similar fictional characters against each other. Last one was Master Chief versus Doomslayer, Halo versus Doom, and before that it was like Mahito from, I think it was Jujutsu Kaisen versus Shigaraki from My Hero Academia. But beside the point, I kind of want to see Sans from Undertale go against the Judge from Off. I feel like that would be a really fun match. Teamer, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Opinion on forgiveness in religion. I think forgiveness is good for you for sure. That being said, I don't believe in forgiveness, at least for myself. But yeah, I feel like forgiveness in or out of religion would be a good thing. If you're talking about like how it's applied within religion, or like maybe the doctrines of forgive everybody no matter what, I think that's kind of absurd. But yeah. Rat Cortex, thank you for following on Twitch. Yeah, rest of y'all follow on Twitch too. If you got one, I would really appreciate it. If you got Twitch, give me the 50 followers on there, and then I'll, maybe start streaming, get affiliated on there or something. I don't know. How do Christians explain that the Bible rules just literally changed over the decades? Good question, Christians. Why do you think the Bible rules changed over the decades? Why do you dislike Christianity specifically? I don't respect the doctrine of Christianity because it empowers people to, nowadays, like in modern times, it's used as a tool to marginalize people of different sexualities, people of different gender identities, people of different religious beliefs. It encourages science denial. It historically it's been used as a tool to assist in colonization and forcible indoctrination of slaves. It preaches it preaches like a lack of self-worth, like you're automatically worth suffering just because your ancestors ate a fruit off of a tree. It's I think there's a lot to not like about it. Encourages science denial where ask the people in the chat who deny evolution and the Big Bang, and there you go. How'd you feel about the new conclave pope election? Did they have the pope election already? Like who got elected? Wait. They began to vote, but yeah, I don't really have a positive view of the Catholic Church in general, so I try not to concern myself too much. But since it's starting to veer into politics, like I don't know, I don't have an opinion about who they choose, just so long as it's as he's similar in morality to the one before him. Let's see, but it's not worse. And you know what, Jan? I've read the rest of your comment, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. Right? I think it's disgusting that there are countries out there, a country in particular out there, that's using that religion as a means to what's the word I'm looking for? Put into law the marriage of the allowance of marriage of 9-year-olds to adults. In Iraq, they started doing that recently. So I'm right there with you, but difference being, if I were to criticize them as much as I really, 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 really wanted to, I'd get banned and I'd be looked at I'd be looked at a certain type of way. So, but I'm right there with you. I do agree. I think that both are guilty, if not the other one slightly more guilty. Tend to favor the theory that earthquakes/volcanoes are related to how much negativity, hate, and disregard to natural and divine law there is. If that were the case, then the agents who are quote unquote being negative or being hateful or disregarding natural and divine law, earthquakes and hurricanes, tornadoes, all these natural disasters would have only started when these agents started existing, right? According to the Bible, everything happened 6,000 years ago. Which is false. That's when humans were created, but let's assume it is for a second, right? Earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, all this stuff has been going on since the beginning of the formation of the planet. It's always been a feature of our planet, always. We can verify that scientifically. So no, humans have nothing to do with natural disasters. We have nothing to do with cancer, because there's dinosaurs that had cancer, and they died out millions of years before we evolved. So no, it's just objectively false. Big Bang equals let there be light, period. If that were the case, then the Genesis story would have gotten the rest of the creation story correct, right? It wouldn't have said that both vegetation and light had occurred after stars were created. So it does claim those things. It claims that the sun was created in, Genesis 1:16, and stars were created. But it says that light existed before then, and also that vegetation existed before then, which are both false. So, I appreciate us at least trying to draw a parallel between what we can verify scientifically and the Bible, but no. Let's read Genesis. Oh, sure, let's do it. Genesis 1. 1 second, let me pull it up for you. I'll even go so far as to say 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering above the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. This is up to verse 5. And God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it, and it was so. That's a firmament that doesn't exist, but beside the point. Called the vault sky, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day. And God said, let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and gathered waters he called seas, and God saw that it was good. Then God said, here's the fun part, let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds. And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning the third day. And God said, let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years. And let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give lights of the earth. And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars, got them, set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. Good enough for me. So in 14 through 18, it's talking about God creating the sun and the moon. But according to, what was it? 3 through 5, he already created day and night. There can't be day and night without the sun. The moon, it kind of doesn't matter, but the sun at the very least. There can't be day without a sun. Also, in 11 through 13, he's talking about the creation of vegetation and fruits and stuff. There can't be vegetation without a sun either. So, no, we're just, no. So, no. So, no. Read the Greek version. The Greek version came after the Hebrew. Even the NRSV is the closest to the Hebrew we're going to get in English. So, and they say the exact same thing. So, we can maybe continue trying to, like, at this point, contort and twist to try to make our Bible fit, what we can verify scientifically, even though the Bible gets it wrong. But no, that's just not the case. The Bible got it wrong. Even if you want to argue that each day wasn't individual days, it was eras of some sort, it still got the order of operations incorrect. So, science 1, Bible 0. Read the Bible and go to a therapist. I've read the Bible twice, and I have a psychiatrist, so I don't know what you want me to do with that. How can we stop believing? Lack of evidence is why I stopped believing. The evidence sucked, so I left. 2 Kings, these nuts. Skadoosh. Get the fuck out of my life. Fuck out of my life. Fuck out of my life. Bye. 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 Forever. Bye forever. Bye forever. Bye forever. You know not to spam. You chose to spam. Bye forever. Vegetation ain't possible without the sun. You mean sunlight? Because if the sun wasn't there, nothing works, right? Yeah. So it says, according to the Bible, vegetation was created before the sun was created. When we know for a verifiable fact that there can be no vegetation whatsoever without the sun already existing. Right? So the Bible says that one happened before the other. Science verifies that the other was necessary before the first one. So it got it wrong. The Bible got it wrong. What was the light then? I'm not gonna sit there like, what was the light? I don't know, man. Light? I mean, apparently the light of day and night cycles, right? So they would assume sunlight, like the people that wrote Genesis would assume it was the sunlight, but even then they're not attributing that light to the sun. So, got that wrong. It had day and night cycles before sun. It also had vegetation before sun. So the Bible got it wrong. I don't know what to tell you. Lalo, you're a dishonest piece of shit. Get out of my chat. I'm tired of you. You were here for an hour just chirping around. And now you get to have the rest of your night to yourself. Skadoosh. Have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you, but yeah, we can grasp at straws all we want to. Keep on to our fucking keep on trying to grasp onto the book with the talking animals is so true. All we want to, but you don't get a chance to do that anymore. Get the fuck out of here. Have a good rest of your night. Lalo, I know you're still here, right? Let's see if God is real. I want you to pray to God right now that you get unmuted. Pray to God right now that you get unmuted. Pray for God to either soften my heart to unmute you, or pray for God to take down your mute on TikTok. So let's see if it works. Pussy. Skadoosh. 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 Get the fuck out. Everybody say good night to Lalo, man. Have a good rest of your night, man. Appreciate you. Hope you get a chance to read the Bible again. You're only saying I didn't read the Bible good enough to your standards, Jess, because I disagree with what it has to say. So For me, I'm saying words mean what they mean, and the science in the Bible, or at least the claims of events in the Bible, are scientifically incorrect. You're like, oh no, you're not a Christian because of that, so therefore read the Bible again, or I hope you read the Bible again. I find your belief unsatisfactory, therefore you didn't read the Bible to my standards. Like, at that point, I don't know what to tell you. Peace. As a matter of fact, yeah, peace forever. Bye-bye, Jess. Literally forever. Skadoosh. Block. Bye-bye. Take care. I don't like you. Bye. Take care. You too. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Just, at this point, just fuck off, man. Peace this dick. Keep psyoping yourself until you think what I think. Thank you. Harassment and bullying. Nice. Ugh. Harassment and bullying. Submit. Good douche. Whatever. If you are ashamed of God, how will he help you? I don't believe in God. I don't believe that God exists. Right? Jesus Christ isn't God, and it doesn't make sense that there is no God. IMO, there is low-key, only one true opinion, and the truest monotheistic religion, Islam. Oh, I'm off of TikTok right now. I can say what I want about Islam. Yeah. Islam that calls a pedophile holy, calls multiple pedophiles holy, and that also gets science incorrect. No. Fuck Islam. Fuck them. Fuck. Tua. Spit on that Quran. So, Mike Job, good to see you. Evolution takes hundreds of thousands of years. That's how we came to be. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, May 9th. Oh, I don't care. I get unbanned tomorrow on TikTok. It's whatever. See, God loves you. Can't bring you to his kingdom. All you have to do is repent and you have to eternal and true happiness. No. Just no. Just no. Just nah. Just none for me. I'm good at that. I'm good. Bro was just rage baiting. Bye. Take care. Skadoosh. Get out. I'll show you a rage bait. Skadoosh. Skadoosh, man. Skadoosh. 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 Would I rather be Islamic or Christian? I'd rather be a Christian. I'd much rather be a Christian. As somebody who's read the Quran and the Bible, being a Christian is, it leads way to some absurdities for sure, but, it's to claim that moral atrocities and scientific misunderstanding is the perfect inspired word of God, and you can't possibly say it's anything but. I'm gonna take the one that at least gives me some leeway one way or the other, Blessed are they have not seen and yet believed. Yeah, that's because the people that wrote the Gospels, in particular the Gospel of, what is that, John that comes from? John 20:29, I think. They want you to just believe in the book without any sort of substantiation for your beliefs. So that's all that means. I'm not seeing why it would be a virtue to believe things without evidence. I don't have an OnlyFans, Rip. God damn it. Come on, man. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. I'm chilling right now. Our time praying in the chat publicly, praying on the street corners, like it says not to do in Matthew 6:5. Skadoosh. Forming my beliefs right now. If you're raised agnostic, can you explain why you don't believe in the Bible, that it doesn't align with science? Because it makes claims that go against what we can verify scientifically. So, it says, like the Genesis story, like I was just going over, got the order of events wrong. It claims in, I think it's like 16 that the sun was created and the moon was created, but it says in 12 that vegetation was created, and it says in like 1:4 that these day and night were created, but you need a star for both vegetation and day and night cycles, so it got that wrong. We know man didn't evolve in one day after just taking some dust and, blowing life into it. We know that women weren't formed around by flesh surrounding a man's rib. Obviously, that's not the case. We know for a fact Noah's Ark did not happen. We know that people can't rise from the dead. We know that virgins can't give birth, especially at the absolute very least. If they can physically, they couldn't give birth to a male because there's no Y chromosome present. So we know that's false. But there's a lot of different things in the Bible that are just outright false, just completely, totally garbanzo beans, baloney, hocus pocus, horse shit. So yeah. Real stream, yeah, real stream. Have a nice day or night. It's 2:30 in the morning for me, but have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you. In the true gospel of Jesus, he said, "You are the Son of God. Love all people regardless of race, religion, or sexuality." I'm gonna hide you on the channel real quick. You don't even get any of my attention. I mean, if that were the case, he would have told you not to follow the old law. But in Matthew, what is it, like 6:5, he explicitly tells you to follow the old law. And the old law says things like it does in Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13, where it that's been construed to show hatred for gay people. So yeah, not seeing it. You can go. I'm just skadooshing everybody tonight. Fuck it. Bye. Take care. Noah's Ark could be in Turkey. Noah's Ark, the whole story did not happen. The quote unquote ark being found, that was a hoax by Ron Wyatt. Even beside that point, like, there's just a bunch of different things about it that verify that the story was made up. 1,500 different ethnicities of people coming from like 8 people. Like, what the fuck? 8 people being able to separate all the carnivores that exist from eating all the other animals. Like, what the fuck? Not enough water on the planet to cover the world to the highest mountaintops. You know, outright didn't happen. What the fuck? Like penguins that are in Antarctica and kangaroos that are in Australia and things like capybaras and sloths that are in the Americas wouldn't have been able to swim over to the Eurasian landmass and then swim back. So we know that's false. 2 of every species wouldn't have been enough genetic data to give us a species we have now currently. So that didn't happen. Oh man, there's so many different things. There's the heat problem. There's I already went over the water. We need like 3 times as much water as is on the planet for as is there for the flood to happen. So yeah, Noah's Ark definitely didn't happen. Are you hurt or since painting your life? What's going on? You know what? Now that you say it, Miss Mariah, I am a little bit hurt. Let me go over what hurt me really quickly. I went over your mother's house, not that long ago. I went over your mom's house. I went there. I was a DoorDasher. She ordered like some Panda Express. Went over your mom's house. Was like, okay, yeah, here you go, ma'am. Here's your Panda Express. And she was like, I want your egg roll. So she pulled me into y'all's house. Took me to a room. You know the room. That's is spamming allowed? No, spamming isn't allowed. But beside the point, don't interrupt my story. She took me upstairs, to her room. You were gone at, probably at work, whatever you do. I was in there, just, absolutely going at your mom. I mean, just absolutely going at your mama, right? I was 100% just slapping your mama's cheeks harder than power slap. It was not looking too good for it, right? And then I'm getting ready to like, pull out, spray some batter all over your room door. And she quickly gets on her knees and like tries to catch her with her mouth. And she was a little overzealous and then bit really hard on my dick, like really, really super hard. And so that's what hurt me. Your mother hurt me when she, toothed my dick as hard as possible. Left a scar, wasn't looking too good. So yeah, that's what hurt me. Since you've sensed pain in my life, that's the pain in my life. My dick still hurts. Shame on your mom, Mariah. Do you just believe we came from monkeys? And like, in your opinion, where did the universe come from? I think the universe has always existed personally. And it's like, do we came from monkeys? No, we share a common ancestor with monkeys. We can verify that so many different ways. It's not even funny. Evolution, talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Why not? Just watch Zeitgeist. What would Zeitgeist do to make me believe in God? The water came from 3 different sources, above, below, and rain. There still wouldn't be enough water. Still would not be enough water. Right? All of the planet's water that's inside of it can ignore gravity and just come up from the oceans and from inside the planet all of the water in our atmosphere can condense into rain, all of the ice caps can melt, and there still wouldn't be even close to enough water to cover the planet as it was described to have been covered in the book of Genesis, in Genesis 7. See here. Let me get some people on out of here real quick. Let me get you on out of here. Skadoosh. Have a good rest of your night. I'm sick of you. You can come back tomorrow. You will be back. They're always back. Ayo Thunder. It's a school night. You got school in the morning. Get the fuck out of my stream. Skadoosh. You fucking kid. Get the fuck out. Who else in here needs a skadooshin really quickly? Again, 500,000 tons of water still wouldn't be even remotely close to enough water. It is absurd, the amount of water necessary. If your mom saw me, there'd be enough water. Okay, that was kind of funny. All right, that was funny, bro times. I'll give you that one. This guy believes the earth is flat too. No, I don't believe the earth is flat. The earth is verifiably not flat. We aren't linked to monkeys, my guy. There's the missing link that has never been found. Do you think that the lack of ability or the not finding of fossils of an intermediary species means that the entire evolutionary chain falls down? Like, I want to gauge your intellectual honesty real quick. Do you think, honestly, let's be real here, and this is what's going to separate you from getting muted or not. Do you think that for evolution to be proven true, that we have to find the fossils for quite literally every single species and ancestor that we as humans evolved from? Yes or no? No, but anyway, yeah, but yes or no? How do you believe the universe came about? I think it's always existed, personally. He said we share an ancestor. Yeah, we do share an ancestor, but I'm not asking y'all. I'm asking one person in particular. Let's make sure he sees who I'm talking to, too. Let me see what... Chris Hubbard. Chris Hubbard. Do you think we have to find the fossils for quite literally every single prior ancestor to humans in order for evolution to be true? Yes or no? This is what's going to make me think whether or not you're being honest or whether you're retarded. Would I want to die or something? What do you mean by that? In Genesis, God didn't flood the entire earth, but only the part of the earth that humans lived on. It's no. Why are we trying to make words mean different things? It says literally in Genesis 7, the planet. Literally. In the NRSV, it says the planet. Literally. We don't have to add to the Bible. We don't have to take away from the Bible. It says in Revelation 22 not to add or take away from this book. You are adding to the book. No, don't do it. All right, let me get you on out of here. Skadoosh. Take care. You're a bitch. Get out of here. Have you tried to come to the Lord with an open heart? Yeah, back when I was deconstructing. Yeah, absolutely. If there's tons of proof, why do we need to go to church to see it? Hey, solid question. Solid question. All right, let me see if my appeal went through. Probably not. It's only a day. They don't typically respond to like 1 days, but fuck it. Might as well try, right? Oh shoot, I already got a tab over there. Okay. Oh, nope. All right. Let's put you right here. Why dodge my question? If a strongest version of my hypothesis is a theory that can be proven wrong, how can you be certain of anything 100%? I never claimed 100% certainty. I'm saying, like, show your work. What do people what do scientific theories do? They show their work. Big Bang Theory. What's your work? Oh, CBMR and Redshift. Okay, fair enough. I'll trust it. Why not? Evolution. Show your work. What's your proof? Oh, fossils. Showing the similarity between the DNA of us and other prior species, showing a similarity between our DNA and every other species' DNA, even plant species, to a degree of about like 50-60%. Oh, okay, sure, fair enough. Gravity, same thing. Atomic theory, same thing. Right, so what do religions do? Oh, here's the book. Book is true. Book is not untrue. Believe in book. Anybody that's going to say like the reason I want to trust science over religion every single day of the week is because with science, they self-correct, right? They say we could be wrong. Here's the best understanding that we have available with the evidence we have so far. We could be wrong about it though. With religion, it's like we are right. It's not possibly not wrong. It was given to us by divine God in the sky. So it's right and it's not wrong. So I don't know. What if mountains were a little smaller? They weren't that small, dude. They definitely weren't that small. Especially when did the flood story happen? It says it happened like 4,000 years ago. Mountains were not all that small 4,000 years ago. You could maybe argue I don't know, a few centimeters maybe. Maybe I'll even grant a couple meters, but definitely not small enough to be flooded with the water we have available. Read Quran about Big Bang and that life comes from water. It says that in the Quran, life came from clay, dust, earth, nothing, sticky clay, goddamn, a clinging clot, a blood clot, sperm. It says a lot of different things that make no sense in the Quran. So no, the Quran's also not true either. Skepticism brought me higher to the faith because of tag. I'm also been kind of freeing because I'm more concerned with others believing it than me and how to respond when people ask me abstract questions. Tag isn't convincing for me personally. The people that argue it are persistent. Sure. I admire their persistence. I admire their, their ability to grasp abstract ideas, but none of them can substantiate the idea that logic in and of itself, like the acceptance that things are what they are, aren't what they aren't, and that there's no middle ground with a tense between what is and isn't. There's no reason for me to think that these aren't like a self-defining framework rather than like it's some grand idealistic metaphysical thing given to us by something smarter than us, like this makes no sense. But that's just me. If you don't believe Jesus, then who created Earth? I think the Earth has always existed. Not the Earth, but the universe has always existed. Prior to the Big Bang, we don't know, but I have no reason to think that it was the universe and the stuff that makes it, like the space and the material, ever went from a state of not existing to existing. God loves you and I hope you find the right path. Okay, sure. See, God must be uncreated so humans can exist. If you ask what created God, the question will go on infinitely. So where's the existence? I just say the universe, right? Scientifically speaking, I have no reason to think the universe itself hasn't always existed. What about Buddhism? What do you think of that? I don't agree with the idea that we're going to like reach nirvana or anything like that. I'll say I enjoy the Buddhists in my life. I think they're really nice, honest, kind people. I do love them. B, their beliefs more or less are pretty benign, right? They haven't been used to like marginalize people. So, well, sometimes, but like not based off their beliefs solely, right? And C, I think they got it right that desire is indeed the root of all suffering, but I just don't believe in the supernatural claims made by Buddhists. So I can't call myself a Buddhist, honestly, but yeah, I think you can do a lot worse, for sure. I'll say that much. Universe can't just come out of nowhere without something. You think God can come out of nowhere, though, right? Now, your response is going to be, no, God's eternal. He's the Alpha and the Omega. He's always existed, all that good stuff. I'm like, okay, sure, but why can't I then just believe that about the universe, that it's always existed and that, it didn't require a creator? You muted me? No, I didn't mute you. Answer my question though. It's a yes or no. Do you believe that the truth of evolution is contingent entirely on us being able to find the fossils of prior species within our lineage? Yes or no? A lot of Buddhists and Hindus are really chill people in my experience, at least. Oh yeah, especially Buddhists. Hindus, it's kind of hit or miss, but what can you do? I can go on and on with all the science that is in the Bible. Unfortunately, the average ignorant preacher bilking people for money gave Christianity a bad name. It's not if it's any consolation, it's not Christianity that was like, Christianity wasn't ruined because of the preachers for me. It was the Bible itself that made me question it. What was I about to do? Oh, I was about to check if my appeal went through. Probably not though, but If so, it's whatever. Future appeal and okay, that's fine then. It's whatever. All right. I'll be back tomorrow on TikTok. It's whatever. Important to recognize that Buddhism isn't a monolith. Theravada Buddhism differs vastly from Vajrayana Buddhism. Yeah, but I mean, if they all make supernatural claims, then it's probably just not for me. If you don't believe in semi trucks and you step on the highway, you're still going to get ran over, right? Because there's evidence that semi trucks exist and that they're to be found on the highway. We can't do the same for God, though. Do you believe in heaven and hell? No, I think both of them are false, fake, fictional, imaginary, baloney, garbanzo beans. That's what I think about it. What happened? Oh, hate and harassment, but it's only a one dayer, so I'll be back tomorrow on TikTok. Well, let's say harassment and bullying. I guess I'd went a little bit too hard on somebody who was being a bitch. If you're ex-Christian, you most likely never met Jesus Christ. Hasn't Jesus Christ literally been A, his human body dead for 2,000 years, and B, his spiritual body up in heaven since then? Like, hello? Nobody's met Jesus. I'm go so far as to say you haven't, I haven't, nobody has. And the Bible backs me up on that. Human body, dead forever. Like, well, not forever, but dead for thousands of years. Right? Spiritual body. He's apparently God in some essence or whatever. Up in heaven. Who's met him? If you say you've met him, I'm just gonna think this claw cap on it. There's ghosts in haunted houses. There's no evidence of ghosts, sorry. Me at the Rainbow Skills, how you doing today? Oh no. Oh, our time says when I die, I will face the Lord. Oh no. Oh, I will face the Lord when I die. I am so scared. Oh, the fear mongering. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Cosmic Dude, you're a bitch. Bye. Who's next? Report nuts. See how far it gets you. Jesus was assumed into heaven? What do you mean assumed into heaven? What does that even mean? Earthly and spiritual body assumed into heaven. Oh, that helps my point even better, right? Went from on this planet, able to communicate with this planet, to not on this planet. So, I'm not going to accept that my, that there's this standard of meeting Jesus that makes me a Christian or not. Cosmic Dude was not very cosmic. Yeah, and I was not very in the stream, period. So, yeah. If we're that emotionally unintelligent, you should probably, I don't know, go see a doctor or something. How do you feel about drugs? I've done a lot of them. I have some varying opinions about them. Tend to enjoy psychedelics and depressants. Tend to not enjoy not dissociative, stimulants. I'm not huge on stims. It's not really my thing. 1 second, really quickly. Let me check something. Oh, content, life. Oh, okay, I can do. I'm cool with that. That's fine. Yeah, 77.8%. Yeah, that's cool with me. That's about what I get normally. See here. Okay, there we go. Wait, let me go. Put this over here. Put this over here. Put this over here. Okay, there we go. Sweet. There it is. Can you prove CBR redshift yourself or proves the Big Bang at all, or it created life? If I had the instruments, then yes. Absolutely. If I had the instruments. Sounds like you've done drugs. I have done drugs. Yeah. I've done a smattering of different drugs. I've done a lot of different ones. I haven't been addicted to anything except like nicotine, but yeah, I've experimented. Done some smorgasbording, Hard pass on drugs, religion or not, don't do it. I don't do it anymore. It was just more so I was bored, had the cash. I was one of those people that's like, okay, well, might as well try it out. See what the whole hype is about for sure. If God were not real, would you want one to exist? I don't know. Just depends on the God. Would I want the Christian one or the Islamic one to exist? Fuck no. The Hindu ones probably wouldn't mind. The pagan ones, probably not. Honestly, they're kind of iffy, kind of imperfect in their treatment of humans. Depends on the god, I can say. Do you like pretzels? I love pretzels. Yeah, they're probably my favorite crunchy snack. I'd say my favorite snack of all time, period, point blank, full stop, is anybody had the roll and gold, like the cheddar pretzels? Like the cheddar, like the cheese flavor ones, those are fantastic. I love them to death. I try to get them from Walmart. They never have them because people just keep buying them, which is their prerogative. Like that's fine, but man, good stuff. Good stuff. Nicotine's super cheap in Indonesia. $1 for a package cigs. Oh yeah, I wouldn't make it very long in Indonesia though. I do plan to eventually move to the Philippines though. I heard prices are pretty similar out there for sure, but that's why I gotta really get that habit under control by the time I move out, if I ever move out, right? Hindu gods are extremely imperfect. Yeah. I mean, not even as close to as bad as the Abrahamic one though. The crushed up cheddar pretzels are the best. Are you talking about the Snyder's and Hanover ones? Those are okay. I like them. They're just not big enough on the cheese flavor for me, and also like the form factor is obviously an issue. When I eat pretzels, I like to, the top two, like the butt parts of them. I like to just like bite those off first, and then like bite the little rounded end off of the last part, and then have like the little wishbone middle of it left, and then eat that last. It's fun. I don't know. Welcome back, Thunder T. Good to see you. Did I ever see any of Christopher Hitchens debates? Like way back then, but not recently. Like my walk with religion has been a very personal one, so I try to keep other people out of it as much as possible. How do we gauge what is truly right? We can all be 99% about something, but without a definite law or ideal set in stone, presumably by some omnipresent force, i.e. God. Sounds like we're just trying to use like some sort of all-powerful claim God figure to take credit for the fact that things exist in a way that we can parse them, if that's if I'm understanding that correctly, whether or not you're willing to admit to it. I'm not seeing how something that we accept beyond a shadow of a doubt due to all of the evidence we have available pointing to the thing means that some omnipresent force or omnipotent force or whatever nature attribute you want to assign to it to try to get it to be your God figure. I'm not seeing, I guess it's just a non sequitur for me personally. Soft pretzels with nacho cheese is absolutely the best tasting thing of all of existence. I love them. I like beer cheese, especially. Yeah, some beer cheese. Oh yeah. I just like pretzels in general. The thing I like about pretzels is that you can do so much with them. You can, even if they have a little bit of salt on them, like you can still put some like brown sugar, cinnamon, I don't know, like strawberry cream cheese, yogurt. They're versatile in addition to being tasty, like a little roasty, salty crunch. That's all you really need, Obviously, like things like cheese and ranch and all these flavorings that are with other chips are going to be more interesting for sure, but they're not as versatile, and it just don't. I don't know. It's not as satisfying. I love pretzels though. Your food's here. Enjoy. You like beer in general? I like beer too. I like Blue Moon. That's my favorite. Especially the Light Sky. I like the regular Blue Moon. I like both of them for taste. Like they taste the same, obviously, but the regular is just really heavy. I feel like if I drink a whole Blue Moon in a short period of time, then I feel like I ate a Thanksgiving dinner or some shit, Real pretzels or snack pretzels? Both. If I got some dip, then the soft pretzels, because like you really need something to dip them in. Like if you just eat those straight, like it's a lot of bread, But the snack pretzels, yeah, those are more so my jam for sure. Used to have a soft pretzel place like 10 minutes away from, but they closed. Ah, man. There's in my local supermarket, there's an Auntie so I hit them up sometimes. If God no exists, then why beer? I mean, right? You're a Modelo man. Mexicans have their beer game in check. Modelo is pretty solid. Modelo's a little bit bitter for me, but it's I guess a testament to the hops that they use and stuff, and that they're not trying to skimp on the ingredients, right? But yeah, Modelo's solid. I had a friend named, I'm not going to say his name, but I had a friend from Ohio who really loved Modelo's. Do you have complete happiness or do you have something missing in your life? Of course I have things missing in my life. I'll always have something missing in my life, but um, but I'd say overall I'm content, I'm peaceful, and I am grateful. I'd say these are three words that apply to where my life is. With everybody's life, it can be better. Do you see yourself as the highest being in the realm of your existence? In the life and the circumstances that dictate my life, yeah, but outside of that, no, definitely not. New Zealand beer is better, probably. Y'all don't have a lot to do out there, so y'all probably make a damn good beer. Like if I had nothing to do except drink and perfect how to drink and perfect the the things I drink, obviously I'm gonna be really good at it. You need a girlfriend? I have a girlfriend. Her name is Maria, and she is a wonderful, wonderful person. Or are miraculous events and mystical experiences reported consistently across time and cultures? I mean, for a lot of different reasons. Some people lie if they're like trying to use their religion as a point, like trying to sell it to people. But beside that point, like a lot of their religious like explanations for things are, the hallucinations they could just be like a false attribution of different things. There could just be something completely natural behind why it happened. Or it could be a lie. So all the miracles I've heard about so far are either unverifiable, so I'm going to lean closer into the lie. But even if I grant it, like a lot of it, it's just natural stuff that don't require God anyway. What's up, Iran? Or Aaron, good to see you. Applesauce with pretzel sounds disgusting. I'm not huge on applesauce in general. I never really liked it. It's just, it takes everything good about an apple and just like destroys it. The same reason I don't like canned peas. I feel like they're pretty gross. I really like frozen peas, and obviously fresh are pretty good, but canned are just disgusting. I can't stand canned peas. God isn't real. Why devote a channel to the proof of something that doesn't exist? So I host these streams and make these videos to offer a look into an atheist and ex-Christian perspective, to encourage critical thinking, to learn new things myself, to provide an opportunity to engage fairly and honestly with someone of a different worldview, and to have a little bit of fun along the way. Do I not believe in the laws of physics? Of course I believe in the laws of physics, but I'm not seeing how the existence of the laws of physics and that the truth of the reality that we have available to us is indicative of a God figure, Honeycrisp is your favorite? Mine too. Yeah, perfect mix of sweetness, texture, and I'm going to prefer the color red over the color green. Good shit on 1K, bro. I appreciate that, Gucci Penguin. Thank you. I'm extremely outlandishly grateful. Mushy peas. Oh my goodness. What do you think about Pope Francis? Rest in peace, I guess. I'd say as far as popes go, he was one of the better ones. The universe is not infinite, so the beginning and the end is definite. I mean, there's no scientific consensus about the universe not being infinite. All we know is that 14 billion years ago, it expanded from a hot, dense state. That's literally all we can say definitively about it. So I'm not even reading the rest of it, because if it builds off of the idea that, oh, my God exists or God is the only explanation for a universe that's not infinite, when there's no scientific consensus about whether or not it's infinite, then I'm just not going to read it. What are your thoughts on baked beans? I'm not huge on baked beans, honestly. It's not really a fan. Beans in general, I'm not really huge on. Like, I like them, but not enough to just really be crazy about them. I'll get them in my Chipotle bowls, and yeah. Mushy peas are disgusting. Yeah, I don't. The British were not cooking with that one. Pun intended. They were not cooking with that one. That's. Why are we mashing up peas and putting it on our food? Why are we dipping our fries in it? I'll tell you where the British did get it right though. Salt and vinegar on fries fucking slaps. They got that right. That's W for Britain on that one. But mushy peas, what the fuck are we doing? It's everything good about a pea. Pause. Everything good about peas is just taken away by mushing them up. It's disgusting. Black beans are great. Black beans are okay. I'll eat them. On my Chipotle bowls though, I never get black beans. I always get pinto. It's too much texture. It's just like that's what people might like about them, but I like something that's going to bulk up the bowl and not remind me that I'm eating beans. Any mushy food at all? It's just gross. I like mashed potatoes. Probably some mushy foods out there that are good, but in general, yeah. Einstein was proven wrong about it, and even he realized the truth that God must exist. Einstein did not believe in God. He was a believer in the pantheistic God of Spinoza. He was not a Christian. He was not a Muslim. He was not whatever nonsensical misinformation that apologists want to like insist that he was. No, he did. He believed in the universe itself and the nature and laws of it being, he just called that God basically, but no, he was not even close to a Christian or anything like that. But since we want to make claims about the universe definitely having a start, let me just cook you real quick. Give me a minute. Give me a second. It's one of my favorite things to do. Wait. Oh, why is this in light mode? Ugh, man. Yo. Gross. Hell. Can't stand light mode. Dark. There we go. Especially at 3 in the morning. What the fuck? 1 second. Let me see who that was to make sure they don't run from it. Soy? I don't know. Soy? Whatever. Misconceptions. Skadoosh. Let me put this over here. Skadoosh. Amazing grace has reached the they saves a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. One of the common misconceptions about the Big Bang is that it fully explains the origin of the universe. However, the Big Bang model does not describe how energy, time, and space were caused, but rather it describes the emergence of the present universe from an ultra-dense